What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Today we have a fun-filled Saturday. We got a whole bunch of stuff we're going to accomplish on the race truck. I may break this video up into two different videos just to keep them kind of short. First thing we're going to be doing is yanking the bed off of it. We're going to be yanking the cab off of it. Everything's coming off. We're going to have a bare frame. So we got a whole bunch of stuff to accomplish today. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I'm going to leave my name down below in the description as well as somewhere around in here so that you guys can go over there and follow. I do normally post little pictures, little updates prior to the video. So if you guys aren't following me, you guys are missing out. So let's kick off this video. Let's start yanking some stuff off, and we're hopefully going to get a lot accomplished today. Alright, so with the bed off, my plan is to box the frame in right here and on this side over here. That way we have a little bit extra structural support. I also marked our holes for these front bed mounts. And then we might actually pull the wheels back off and take out all of our parking brake. I don't think I did that yet. QA1's looking good. Duple color stuff's actually holding up pretty well. This here, we have to hook up our wires for the back for the taillights and stuff. So we're gonna drill and tap a hole for our ground wire there. We might even shorten this, I'm not quite sure yet. The brake line over here, we're gonna weld that to the frame. That way it's not just kind of chilling there. Next thing though, we're gonna get this this cab pulled off. So inside the cab here, we have a cab mount there, just underneath the floor, and then one back here, as well as on the same on the other side. And then as far as underneath the hood, we have our two nuts just underneath the intercooler on this side and the intercooler on that side. We'll have to pull off a couple of connectors and whatnot, but for the most part, this should go up pretty simple, pretty quick, and easy. So, all right, so we didn't have to yank off quite as much as you normally would have to, but our ABS and our brake booster right there, those have to flop over. We have a handful of connectors, like our transmission connectors mainly. Those are flopped over. Because we had the engine out, the power steering pumps up here, so we didn't have to unhook a whole bunch of lines there. But like our steering shaft has to come off. Both ABS connectors on both sides at the wheel well, you have to unplug those. AC stuff was already unhooked, so you didn't have to screw with that. The cab bolts, there's two, like I said, in the front here. Those are 18 millimeter, and then on the passenger side you're gonna have one up here and one back there. Those are 21, and then on the driver's side they are actually 24 millimeter, and the very back one here is actually the pilot bolt. That's going to be the first one that you stick back in. That's what helps line up the cab. So pretty much everything is unhooked. We're going to roll it back forward here and yank this cab up. Alright guys, so the cab is up. You just watch us pull that off. Got the bare frame open. We got to drill our holes for the bed mounts. And then we're also going to do some rust repair, you know, just kind of clean up the frame a little bit and paint it, just like we did on the rear of the frame here. Remove our fuel pump. Get that off of there and mount up our 6.7 fuel pump, which is sitting right over there. I got all the connectors and stuff. We're going to wire it all in and everything. We may even pull our rear tires off and take out the parking brake, all that stuff, get rid of all that inside of there. We don't want any drag. We also are going to wire up our tail lights, make sure we get this ground hooked up, and then get our tail lights wired up. We'll set the bed and the cab back down probably sometime today. Alright guys, so jumping a little bit further ahead, our fuel pump has been completely removed with our fuel lines and everything. That's sitting right over there. Now that that is completely off, we are going to start working on putting our 6.7 fuel pump on. But first, I wanted to start cleaning up a little bit so that we could get ready to think about boxing this in. And after cleaning up our welds a little bit, I've decided against boxing it in, even though it would add extra structural support. I don't know, I don't think it's really necessary at this point. So I think what I'm going to do is, as you can see, I've cleaned these up. I kind of have a groove here. I'm going to make a single pass along this edge here, and then I'm also going to make 2 extra passes on the outside just to add a little bit more of a weld, clean these up a little bit, make them look a little bit better, and also add, like I said, a little more support with more passes over the actual cut. So I can see our holes came out awesome for our bed mounts, so super pumped about that. I did take a wire wheel and just kind of clean up the back, or I guess the middle section here of the frame, so we might start working on painting it as well. But everything is going smoothly, so we can actually take this bracket off over here, so that's just more stuff to get rid of. So we're kind of in the mood of just kind of getting stuff done here. We got our frame painted, we got our welds done, our frame is painted, just this middle section here. I'm not really too worried about the inside of it. You're not really going to be able to see that anyways. It's not like it's going to rust out, so I'm not really overly concerned about that spot there. We're going to start working on getting our 6.7 fuel pump right over there. We're going to start getting that wired in and mounted up. We'll probably get it mounted up first and then check out our wiring, see what we're going to have to do there. For the most part, from what I've read, other people that have ran the 6.7 pump, we should be okay. Basically, for our fuel system, we're going to have our fuel cell in the bed, half-inch line, I should say, coming off of that, running along the frame, going to the 6.7 pump, up to our regulated return, through the heads, back out, and then it's going to return to the pump and then back into the tank. Pretty simple setup, nothing crazy. The 6.7 fuel pump, I've heard, can support up to like a 275, 100, or 150 size injector. We're going to be running 250, 100, so we should be perfectly set as far as fuel supply for the race truck. So it's a lot cheaper of an option. This was actually off of another truck. I picked this one up at a junkyard, so it should be good to go. As far as our filter setup, we're going to be running the factory filter that is in that pump. Then we're also going to be running the other factory pump or filter off of a 6.7. So we're going to mock this up and hopefully set something up so that we can have that. I'd like to have kind of cool connectors, the quick connect fittings, so that we can easily change the filters if we need to remove the pump for whatever reason, if it fails or whatever, we can easily do that. But basically, one of the reasons I want to run the 6.7 pump is because, one, it's a good, cheap option. It's half-inch lines versus the 3/8 lines that's commonly on the 6.0s. So the lines are upped. But also, you can go to pretty much any Ford dealership, and they're going to have that pump in stock. So if it fails, you can easily get one and get it replaced. A fast pump, or an air dog, you'd have to contact the company, go through all of that to just get yourself a new pump. So it's kind of a cool option, and it's also kind of factory looking too. So that might kind of take people off the edge. So super excited. We'll get it mounted up, hopefully in the same spot as the 601, and then we got the connectors over there on it as well. So we'll get it wired in. It's looking good, guys. Looking good. Getting a lot of progress done. QA1 shocks, looking good. Shocks up front. DJM suspension, killing it. It's gonna be a long night, but we're gonna get as much done as we possibly can, and hopefully keep going forward. All right, guys. So we got the cab set back down. The 6.7 fuel pump is installed. All the wiring for the 6.7 fuel pump is good to go. Like I said, the cab is set back down. We're getting ready to set the bed back on. Make sure everything is good to go on that. And then, yeah, that should be pretty much it as far as everything that we wanted to accomplish for today. All right, guys, so that's going to wrap up today's video. It is super late. It's about 11 o'clock. That's pretty much going to wrap up this video, like I said. We got a lot done. We did not get to pulling the parking brake assembly off, and we did not get to install the tail lights or the third brake light. But that's going to be on another video. We don't really need to have the hoist with the cab off and bed off or anything like that for that stuff. So that's going to be the only other thing that we're going to be accomplishing. Hopefully we'll get the truck back over to my place. I want to give a shout out to TNA Diesel for loaning me the shop for a little bit of time, as well as Tyler for doing some good welds on the truck as well. So huge shout out to those guys. I'll leave a link in the description where you guys can go over and hit up them guys for parts or anything like that. Like I said, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I highly suggest you guys do that. I usually post updates on my Instagram, so if you guys head over there and hit that follow button, I appreciate that. You guys will get some inside scoop before a video comes out usually. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate all of you guys that are all of our new subscribers. If you guys are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video as always, and leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about where the truck is at, how everything's coming along. Leave a comment down below, and we'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.